for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
Had a chance to meet him while he was still at Clemson as a summer camp partner. And this is one of the best kids you're going to meet out there. And he doesn't say a whole lot, but it's fun to watch how people respond to him. When he was a camp counselor, the kids just flocked around him like the Pied Piper, just as his teammates did while he was at Clemson.
Now a first down throw. Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Black 22.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017, and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47.
4 down. Set. Green. Down.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carlos Dunlap able to drop him for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Black 22. Black 22.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Griffin. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the 50, it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The Texans send the punter out. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. So here are the Bengals now with a long field ahead of them. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
A day one starter his rookie year. He also won a whole lot of first 5 years. The Bengals went to the playoffs each and every year. Continues to evolve as a quarterback, learning how to work around a running game, an offensive line, and receivers that continue to develop.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Okay, we get a glance now at the starting lineup offensively for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Tyler Boyd out of Pitt, one of my favorite receivers in the 2016 draft. The only thing he didn't have, long speed. Really runs about the mid-4.5s, maybe a 4.6 guy, but smart, understands the passing game very well, and doesn't drop anything.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Dalton throwing on second down. That's complete to John Ross. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
We got 4.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Double tight. We got 3.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jonathan Joseph is that wily veteran that you want on your team at all times. He's great in the locker room, fantastic on the field. And if you're a young guy, just watch how he prepares. What is he doing to combat old age? Pilates and yoga. That's extending his career, making him more flexible, and still that guy who can go out there and cover the elite receivers in the NFL.
It's second down. Dalton looking. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
So much successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. From the gun, here's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals getting set to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 40.
3 down.
Lead! You're 18!
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again.
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers. as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Lead. Place it high. Place it high.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Back 22.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back 22.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Second down, Dalton. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
We got 4.
Lady! Lady!
Dalton here from the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They begin with a run by Miller. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through him. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Lee, you're 18.
They'll start here with a give to Mixon, and he stopped immediately there. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball. Now
contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left.
Lady, you're 18. Right, hot.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line.
That's where you belong.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Play action here with Dalton. Airing one out for Boyd. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Here's Kevin Huber now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 34.
4 down. Blue 80.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground.
Watch the run.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Q26. Down. Green the line.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
60. Red. Black 22. Black 22.
Throwing again is Watson. And his throw here's incomplete.
You put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
That is right. Set. Green the line. Green the line.
Out of the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Watson now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down.
Down. Black 22.
Watson looks to throw again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
4 down. 4 down. Check. Down. Green the line.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. Oh, the spin. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Red. Black 22. Black 22.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down. 4 down. Red. Black 22. Black 22.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side taken in by Miller. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
4 down.
From the red zone now, Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Operating from the gun, Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll run. This is Blue. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. This is the running back, Blue. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 26. Play action now. Dalton. He's got his man on the crossing route. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Lady! Lady!
Hey. 4 down, 4 down.
Hot! Game up!
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Lady! Green 18!
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Lady!
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Dumps it off to Mixon. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Kevin Huber now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. On first down, it's Watson. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, boys, we got four down. Down. Black 22. Black 22.
On second down, here's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Watson now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Here's a give to Miller. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Double tight. Four down. Check. Set. Black 22.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Get there.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Down. Black 22.
Watson on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
And now to the air, Dalton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and short.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Fourth down, Dalton wants to throw. Green flexing his muscle. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Green. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. After the interception, here's Watson. And incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Watson hands to Miller on the draw, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Trying to lay one up deep. It got his man complete. A big gain of 31 on third down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Back 22.
Here's Foreman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Watson now from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds his man Griffin. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, not enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Watson. This is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Jordan Akins, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. But they find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
You got 3.
Lead!
They begin with a run by Mixon. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Watson going to throw again. Underneath for Miller. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Black 22! Black 22!
From the gun, here's Watson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
3 down.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, we got 3 down.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Whitney merciless. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm, and we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to them, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Green. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Hot, 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 hot.
These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Dalton, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
The
leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Down. Green, down.
Now Foreman. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Out of the gun, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
and long. It's Watson. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's got this down to the 35. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, we got four down. Red, green, the line, green, the line.
They'll run with Foreman.
Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
On 1st down, Watson. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now a handoff to Miller. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Open man is Uzama. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Tight ends left. Hey. Set. Back 22.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Tight on the left. Move. Red. Green. The line. Green.
Again, it's Miller. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Vontez Burfict, the one to get him down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Red. Green. The line.
Here's Watson to throw on 3rd down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive, and 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Lead. Listen, hot.
55.
2nd down, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And it's a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Deshaun Watson Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. A shotgun snap for Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Watson, off play action. Pass incomplete.
sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Black 22. Black.
Now Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller from 8 yards out, and the Texans will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
3 down, 3 down.
Lead! Lead!
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Late. Green 18.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now the Bengals on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Late. Green 18.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Andy Dalton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Late. Green 18.
Dalton here from the gun. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And Dalton to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Late. Green 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Passing, it's Dalton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing, Dalton, and incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Red. Back 22.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Red. Back 22.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. On the right side, this is Miller. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Hey, we got red. Back 22.
Now Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Keep playing hard, fellas. All
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run with blue. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
That's what I do.
3rd and 2, Watson. Drops it to Blue, complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark, because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Strong right.
Here's Blue. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Here's Watson, option left. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Watson. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Texans will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Double dog. That's the way.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball, but he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And able to find Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati 1st.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Left. Watch left. That's right.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
Lady, Green 18.
From the gun, Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Erickson. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now this is incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it but comes up empty. And this Texans defense stands tall. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high because mentally you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone, we're thinking we're giving up 3, we just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 18.
4 down, 4 down. Hey, blue 80.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Got four down.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.